Well, 17 military officials have just flipped on Joe Biden. You won't believe why. Not only that, but Donald Trump has just announced that chaos will be unleashed. I've got a huge report to share with you guys today. Things are heating up as we get closer and closer to 2024 election. Not to mention Michelle Obama. Her name is back in the pit of potential candidates that could be running. Well, instead of Joe Biden. I've got a lot to share with you today, but just a quick break from my new sponsor. Well, over the past year, the North American Electrical Reliability Corporation has been warning us that we are going to be seeing rolling blackouts here in the United States of America. This is why I have just personally partnered with LumoPal. Now, if you guys have not seen this thing, it is absolutely amazing. But LumoPal is a portable power station, and this is the LumoPal 300. And what LumoPal does is it prepares you for the future. Take, for example, that this Lumo Power 300 portable power station can charge up to 9 devices. And we're talking about cellular phones, televisions, blenders if you need it, even car refrigerators, and a lot of other things. Now, this is safe. It's super quiet. It's light. It's durable. It charges fast and even has two-way charging. And did I mention that this even has an LED light on it? Look at this. I'm going to flash it at you guys. You're going to see it right up here. A freaking amazing light. But the Lumo Power 300 portable power station is far better than any of their competitors because it really focuses on 3 things. And those 3 things are power performance, performability, and of course, the price of the item. If you want to check them out, and I really recommend that you guys do, I want to encourage you, scan this code right here. Use your cell phone and scan it. Take a picture of it so you have it. But scan that code and it's going to take you directly to the LumoPal website. But you can get it right now with that scan code and use the coupon code Lisa to get an additional $30 off of the product. And on top of it, by the way, let me show you how durable this bad boy is. Take a look at this. As you can see, he's jumping on that, putting pressure on it, and the Lumo Pal 300 portable power station maintains through that. So check it out, scan that code. Also, you can click the link in the description box below or click in the comment sections. If you've got your phone, click that more button. But check it out and check it out now before disaster strikes. And again, use that coupon code Lisa to get an extra $30 off. All right, back to the broadcast. But with that, let's dive into, well, first, how about these 17 military officials that have all out flipped on Joe Biden? Take a look at this article. I found this on foxnews.com, and it's headlined, 17 military officials have raised the alarm on Biden's electrical vehicle push. It goes on to state that a coalition of 17 retired military officials, including multiple 1, 2, and even 3-star officers, are raising the alarm on President Joe Biden's aggressive electric vehicle push over its national security implications. In a letter addressed to Biden and the EPA Administrator Michael Regan, the officials led by retired U.S. Army Major General James Marks warned that the president's plans for mass EV proliferation will increase reliance on Chinese supply chains. They wrote that regulatory initiatives aimed at incentivizing EV adoptions intensify America's vulnerabilities to political interference by the Chinese Communist Party. Quote, there is no doubt EVs will play a significant role in diversifying America's transportation systems. Yet we believe your plans will rush our transition to EVs before the infrastructure necessary to support it is in place, the officials wrote. This trajectory will only position the U.S. to become more reliant on China for critical minerals and manufacturing that are necessary for the rapid expansion of EV markets this administration envisions, they conclude. And even more concerning is the fact that this reliance hinges upon China's goodwill to export those minerals and manufactured goods to the U.S., the letter continued. This will undoubtedly open the U.S. up to economic manipulations by China, identical to what Russia is doing with Ukraine grain exports, and a major threat to to our national security. We do not believe now is the time for us to make ourselves vulnerable to such political pressures. I say a big fat amen to that. Now, I have been warning about this electrical vehicle scam that the Biden administration, quite frankly, other people have been pushing on us. Number one, for the very reason of what these generals are saying, and that is the fact, first and foremost, we don't have a system ready to support all those electrical vehicles. If everybody were to buy an electrical vehicle and we're plugging them into our house, well, our entire electrical grid would collapse. I'm talking about unsustainable at this level. And Joe Biden, by the way, has already tried or set a previous goal of getting 50% of electrical vehicles by 2030. That has been his previous goal. It's really ambitious, and we're still not going to have the ability in play by then. On top of that, and this is of even greater concern, how about the fact that right now we are at odds with China and potentially going to war with China? And right now, Joe Biden has many questionable things regarding his relationship with the CCP and his son regarding all these business deals that they have supposedly done, right? More information on Restricted Republic regarding that. But anyway, these deals really question, is Joe Biden really all about the benefit of the United States of America, or is he looking out more for China? And I can't help but shake this eerie feeling that I believe he's more sold out to China than the United States of America. Otherwise, why would he be pushing something like these EVs on our country? Because the second point is, and really one of the most important points, we don't have the minerals here in the United States of America to make these darn things. Where are we getting those from? Well, as the military official stated, from China. China, who we could potentially go to war with, and China, who would seize up the opportunity, right, to maybe really explode the prices on those or use them against the United States of America in the event of war, or maybe even sanction us with these kinds of things when we are already have this reliancy on electrical vehicles. You know, we have to rely on China's goodwill, as the military officials put it, regarding these major minerals. And by the way, a lot of these minerals would be finished, done iota, by the time they met these quotas of these electrical vehicles. This is a huge threat. And I don't disagree with these military officials. This is a huge threat to our national security. And the great news is Donald Trump knows that, and he's exposing it.
We have more liquid gold right under our feet. We have so much wealth in this country, and we don't want to do it. We want to go to all electric cars so that we don't use our wealth. You know, China has that kind of wealth because they have the battery wealth. But electric cars don't go far. They're very expensive, and they're going to all be made in China. They want to do that. They want to do the boat. Now they want to do boats. They want boats to be all electric. The whole thing is so crazy. I call it the Green New Scam. Yeah, it's not the Green New Deal. It's a Green New Scam.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It's a scam. It's a scam because we don't have anything ready to accomplish such a goal. I can't shake this feeling yet again that Joe Biden is out to harm America rather than fix America. But you know what? This is why I think Donald Trump has declared that chaos is going to be unleashed, because he knows if we don't have some kind of Republican president or have Joe Biden out of office, this country will be over as we know it. Take a look at this article here. And this is on Politico.com, and its headline, Trump tells SCOTUS kicking him off of the ballot would unleash chaos. It goes on to state that Donald Trump laid out his legal arguments at the Supreme Court for why he should remain on the 2024 ballot, urging the court to, quote, put a swift and divisive end to lawsuits that say he is ineligible to serve as president because of his effort to cling to power after he lost the 2020 election. The challenge to his eligibility threatened to disenfranchise tens of millions of Americans and promised to unleash chaos and bedlam around the nation if they proceed, Trump lawyers wrote in a legal brief submitted on Thursday evening. Now, I'm going to take you to the actual briefing so you can get the words directly from Donald Trump and his lawyers, and this is the briefing. But it goes on to state here on about page 1, so you know what I'm referencing. Efforts are underway in more than 30 states, that's huge, to remove President Trump from the primary and general election ballots based on similar rationales. Yet, it is a fundamental principle of our representative democracy embodied in the Constitution that the people should choose whom they please to cover them. The court should put a swift and divisive end to these ballot disqualification efforts, which threaten to disenfranchise tens of millions of Americans and which promise to unleash chaos and bedlam if other state courts and state officials follow Colorado's lead and exclude the likely Republican presidential nominee from their ballots. You know, Donald Trump has a lot to say when it comes to the United States of America. It's just stupid what is going on. 30 separate states tried to disqualify Donald Trump from the ballot based off of some insurrection that he's never been accused of. Look, here's the thing. I think Donald Trump really wants to make America great again. I do not see that with the Biden administration. I have not seen that from any Democrat candidate. And we are at a lose situation here as long as these Democrats are in charge. They're signing us up with the likes of the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, and these globalists who, by the way, I put out a huge report on Restricted Republic where they're literally wanting to make ecocide the same as genocide and eliminate elections altogether, you know, because according to Klaus Schwab, AI would already know who the winner would be, so why even vote? I mean, this is the stupidity level, complete and utter tyranny. And if Joe Biden, the likes of Joe Biden, stay in charge, we're going to end up in all chaos. We're going to end up with electrical vehicles on a grid that can't even support them, and we're going to have blackouts and everything else. I think Donald Trump knows this, and he really does have a heart to save our country. And then we have these stupid officials who think they can decide that Donald Trump can be on and off the ballot when we, the people, are supposed to be the deciding factor. There is a lot going on to this. Meanwhile, there's a sneaky little snake coming in who I warned about. You guys who have been following me for some time, I have thrown out the name Michelle Obama as a potential running candidate in place of Joe Biden, because they know Joe Biden can't really win. And so they're looking for other candidates. And by the way, last year, she said, oh, you know, she's looking for donors and she wants to run. At least that's been the rumor, right? But now her name is popping back up again. Take a look at New York Post. Don't be shocked if Michelle Obama sneaks her way into the 2024 race. And so that's this article kind of saying that. And it's not anything casual, but I think it's something that we need to pay attention to, because there's this part in the article that says over 1 year ago, in the summer of 2022, she was in New York City meeting with several big hedge CEOs and said, I am running and I am asking for your support. That was in 2022. Interesting. I wonder what became of that. So there it is. Whether or not that will come to fruition, I guess we'll find out sometime this year. But either way, we've got one political race that we really need to keep our heads in the game for, because we're talking about the fate of this country. We're talking about inflation going out of control or getting more controlled. We're talking about freedoms for the American people or no freedoms for the American people. It will be given over to governing bodies. We're talking about rogue organizations like the FBI and the CIA being weaponized against the American people or being more under control. This is a very critical race. Meanwhile, we have the Democrat Party spouting lies about what Trump actually is going to do. Anyhow, I wish we could wake up a lot of people on the other side. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.